why alpha males never, and I am saying never, never befriend simps. Okay? Why high value men never befriend simps. I'm talking about Captain Save-A-Hos, manginas, male feminists, and yes, that siren is coming from out on the strip. Lots of like ambulances constantly, cops. It's just insane, right? It's just insane. Gives Vegas a bad name. In any case, high value men, alpha males never ever befriend simps. Why? Why not? What's wrong with simps? And these guys will always, always sell you out for a woman. Okay? They cannot be trusted. And if you've ever had a simp in your life, you know exactly what I mean. Okay? And this has become the new term that has replaced Captain Save-A-Ho, mangina, white knight, right? You get it. Okay? Basically a guy who is willing to sell himself out, sell out his own dignity, his own self-respect for the admiration of a woman. And it's usually a woman who is not attracted to him. But this is his form of game. His form of game is to throw you under the bus in order to make himself look good. Okay? And it doesn't even need to be a woman that you personally know, which we will get into, right? You guys could be hanging out at a bar, and then there's some women that sit down. Okay? This guy is never, ever going to have your back. Okay? This guy is always going to make sure that he caters to the feminine, to the female, even at the cost of your friendship. And I've seen guys, like literally, who've been friends for years, some even decades. Friendship gets destroyed, crushed, ended over a woman because one guy who's a simp, right, played Captain Save-A-Ho, white knighted for the girl, and it cost them their friendship. Right? And a lot of these guys, too, make no mistake about it, they will go after your girlfriends. They will go after your wife if they're attracted to her, right? They will, if you told them any secrets about some girl at work that you thought was cute or anything like that, you can rest assured that information will travel its way to your girl or to your wife. He will tell her. Even his reasons, which he really wants to believe is virtuous, is really selfish, right? It's to really get himself in good with a girl. You know, and I mentioned this before. I mean, one of my best friends from college did me dirty, right? This guy had a girlfriend too, and I was going clubbing with this guy. We were picking up girls left and right, and again, I'm not saying that was right. I was in my 20s, and it was stupid. I do regret doing that to this chick. But then again, I found out years later she cheated on me. But like I said, two wrongs don't make a right. All right, I'm not going to stand by what I did. But regardless, I was going out with this guy who was like my BFF at the time. And I trusted him, and we were going clubbing together. He was seeing me pick up other girls, and I was telling him about other girls. He knew every single one. And when this guy got the opportunity, he turned around, even though he was supposed to be my friend, right? He turned around, went to my girlfriend, and told her everything, right? Literally told her everything. And then he used the excuse that he didn't call her, that she called him. And I go, yeah, but she was calling you to ask you for advice on what kind of, I think it was around like my birthday, and she was like, I want to get him a nice gift for his birthday, I want to do something special, what do you think? And then he was like, do you have a moment? I think we need to talk. And then he sits there and just completely just gives me away, right? And again, right or wrong, I'm not saying I was right, but I was like, wait, I trusted this guy. This guy is supposed to be my best friend. And he turned around, stabbed me in the back, ruined our friendship for this chick who was my girlfriend. You know, I think on some level he thought he was going to get her by telling her everything. And she was not attracted to him that way. She was not interested in him that way. So she got the information she wanted. She broke up with me. And she never talked to him again because she was not interested in him. Right? And he had a girlfriend too at the time, which is, you know, ridiculous. There were so many red flags that I ignored. I was like, nah, he would never do that to me. Nah, he'd tell me anything. All right, but it did affect my ability to trust other guys, right? Especially when you're dating a hot girl. It's funny too, because right after him, there was another dude that I was best friends with for a while that kind of did the same thing, right? Although the second guy didn't have anything on me, so he made things up and he lied. He just lied. You're trying to tell my girl a complete lie, right? And he was literally just making things up. And I was like, why on earth is he doing this? I mean, I was just baffled at the time. I was like, why would he do this? What did I do to this guy? Did I upset him? Did I piss him off? Is he mad at me about something? What did I do? I kept like, I was like blaming myself because I didn't know any better. I couldn't figure it out. And then several years later, I figured it out. I'm like, oh, the guy was a simp. He was no different than my other BFF from college, who was a complete simp. You cannot trust these guys because they will always sell you out. And the thing is, too, is a lot of guys out there are still simps, right? It's amazing, even in this day and age, right, that with all this information and knowledge, right, these guys are still simping, And I did a few vids on my 33 channel about simps. It was not hard to find, like, videos that I could use of guys simping. There are tons of them out there. Guys who literally straight bold face, are still simping for women. I just did one where this guy was like, women are not gold diggers. They just want to make sure you're financially stable. Women are not mind readers. They just want to make sure you communicate. We need to put respect on their names. This guy, I think he was Jamaican or some shit. He's like, what are you talking about, dude? But that is the classic type of simp behavior that will double cross you if a woman ever comes between you. Your friendship, you could have been friends your whole life. Could have saved his life in a war. Doesn't matter. If there's some opportunity for him to get the JJ, friendship doesn't matter. He'll do it. This is why simps cannot be trusted. Okay? This is the worst type of dude that you could possibly be friends with. He will not have your back, man. He's going to kind of like covertly be your friend, right? Pretend to be your friend, pretend to be your boy, pretend to have your back, but as soon as a female enters the picture, watch out, boy. And especially if you're already with one, an attractive one, watch out. Okay, watch out. Because at some point, this guy is going to turn on you, right? And make no mistake about it. If he's pretending to be your friend, he's gathering information. Okay, he's listening to what you say. That time you were talking about how you were on the strip and you were talking to some hottie and she was flirting with you, you were flirting back, you might have got her number. Believe me, that information is going to get to your girl. It will. It will. Right? And again, I'm not talking about right or wrong here. I mean, obviously, you shouldn't be doing that. If you have a girlfriend, not cool. But at the same time, understand this guy does not have your back, right? Even say you have no girlfriend even. Let's take the girlfriend or the wife out of the equation and you're both completely single. Once a female does enter the equation, you can bet your ass that this guy is going to be talking smack behind your back. He's going to be taking shots at you behind your back. He's going to tell her about all those little embarrassing things that she does not know about you, it's something that you would not tell a girl yet until she's dating you, right? He's going to tell her all those things to make sure that you don't get her and that he does. That's what these simps do. They will always sell you out for a female, right? And a lot of guys out there would, sadly. A lot of guys would. It takes some balls to not do it. It just comes back to your own morals because, I mean, I really do believe what goes around comes around, right? Even the two guys that I was talking about from my college years, even those guys, they found some girl that they fell in love with, right, that they wanted to marry, like both of these guys, wanted to get married, wanted to have family, found the girls, and they end up, I think it was one of the girls found out, like, what a liar the guy was, like the guy who lied about me. She found out, like, he was lying about, like, so many things about his family, his upbringing, his money, his jobs. He was lying about everything. I guess he was this compulsive liar. She found out, and she dumped him, right? And also, too, the truth came out about me, thank God, right? He ended up, at one point, I think she was just totally threatening to leave him, which she ended up doing. She was like, this is over unless you come clean about everything. And then, of course, she asked, like, remember that thing that happened, like, several years ago with Matt? Was that true? And he came clean. He came clean. Because years later, she was like, hey, I know you're not happy with me. I just want to say I'm sorry. He came clean. I was like, oh, he did? What happened? She was like, I broke up with him. That's it. And then, of course, that guy, I think it was around that time, like, he tried to reach back out to me, wanted to be friends again. I'm like, no, hit the road, dude. Hit the road, Jack. He's like, well, I did this for you. I did that for you. What about all these times? I'm like, doesn't mean a thing, dude. You simped. I mean, there was not that word back then, but I said, you sold me out, right? Which is what simps do. They will always sell you out for a woman, right? And if you've ever had this experience yourself, drop them in the comments below, man. Share your story, okay? Share your story, and you tell me if you can trust a simp in your life. You know, they can't be trusted, guys. They just can't. Okay? And if you have some that are family members or coworkers that you're forced to be around, just don't hang out with them. Don't go to happy hour with them. Don't go bar hopping with them. Definitely don't go pick up girls with them. Definitely don't do that. Because if your wing is a simp, yeah, definitely don't do that. Right? Definitely don't go out with guys like that. Because, like I said, they just can't be trusted. Drop those comments below. Share your experiences. Let me know if you've had simps in your life and how they've done you dirty. Share any stories you'd like to share below. Always love to see you guys in my comments. Always love to read them. So share those comments below.